Alright, much Abrew about nothing time. Playing some 4-color warriors in Modern this week. And we got the Zero Lander. Okay. We will put Cavern to the bottom. I don't know if 2 Mardu Woe Reapers is going to be good enough in Modern. I guess you never know. Cavern of Souls on Warrior and Woe Reaper, number 1. I mean, I guess we just go all in on 1-drops. This is probably Blue Tron. And maybe we can just be fast enough. Cavern for our opponent. I guess they could be something else. Oh, it's Merfolk. Alright, weird Merfolk draw. Spreading Seas, our Cavern. That is annoying. Unfortunately, we can't really cast our stuff. Well, let's get in with our Woe Reaper. Put our opponent to 18. Marsh Flats, crack Marsh Flats. Get a Godless Shrine. And Woe Reaper, number 2. Pass the turn. So now we kind of want a white source for Erishan Foremost. Alright, Harbinger of the Tides. Going to bounce a Woe Reaper. Ooh, there's a Cavern. Alright, let's attack with our Woe Reaper. Opponent takes it. We play a Woe Reaper, Cavern on Warrior, and a Bloodsoak Champion. So we have 6 power, and a Erishan Foremost, and a Mutagenic Growth, which can potentially get in some damage. Opponent reveals a Silvergill to Wanderwine Hub. There's Silvergill. Reveals a Reechery. No attacks. Ooh, and a Displacer. Interesting. Well, let's Erishan Foremost. Target our Bloodsoak Champion. And I think we just attack with everything. Oh. Alright, we're just going to let it go. Put our opponent down to 8. Stomping Grounds, tapped, pass the turn. Was thinking about the Mutagenic Growth, would have put our opponent to 4, but it probably has more value this coming turn, when it might be able to just steal us this game. If our opponent doesn't block a double striker, then we should just be able to win. Alright, Lord of Atlantis. And opponent passes. That mana is kind of scary. Alright, let's just dash our strike leader. I think the strike leader is actually going to be good here. Attack with everything. Trades. Yeah, we'll give our Woe Reaper our strike leader double strike. Our opponent's going to have to start blocking, I think. Or risk just losing? Cons block limited deck is getting the job done. I think every card is from Cons. block. Fate Reforged, cons, cons, Fate Reforged. Except our mana base, obviously. Still a little worried about a Vapor Snag. Opponent blocks. The Harbinger will die. Opponent blocks, blocks. I don't think we even go for it. We're so far ahead at this point. We put our opponent to 2 and get back our strike leader, pass the turn. I just don't know how our opponent wins from here. Like, we could have tried to cast the mutagenic growth for the win. Even if our opponent goes Master of Waves, they'll have 5 creatures, we'll have 5 attackers. I guess they can block everything. Their other problem is we're going to even start gaining life by exiling creatures. So I think we're actually just going to beat Merfolk here. Somehow. And that does it. Sweet. Whoa, our sideboard is huge. Merfolk A. What do we even have for Merfolk? Anything? I guess Disfigure is decent removal. And maybe Sorin can swing the race, possibly. What are we going down? Probably can go down Eldrazi Displacer, which feels a bit weird anyway in this deck. And probably Ambusher is not very good. Maybe we leave a Displacer over the Ambushers. We have to control a forest and a plains and be being attacked, and our opponent's stuff is going to have Island Walk a lot of the time, so I think we just run it back. We have a lot of good cards, but our mana's lacking. We'd have to search out, what, a green-black source? And then we need 2 lands. I think we... if we get green-black, we have a 1/1, a 2-powered creature, 1-powered creature. Yeah, we get a mulligan. Aye. Alright, well, at least now we get to scry to the bottom. So we do need lands. Pretty severely. There's Abrew and the Ether Vial. Well, Cavern on Warrior. And let's just Bloodsoak Champion. Pass the turn. Hopefully we don't get Spreading Seized. We really need that Cavern to be able to cast our stuff. If we can go Bramblewood Paragon into Chief of the Edge, things are actually kind of looking up. Alright, Spellskite is fine. I don't care about Spellskite. Another Nakata. Well, Plains and Bramblewood Paragon. Pass the turn. Now we actually want another land. If we can Nakata plus Chief of the Edge with Paragon on the battlefield next turn, things are kind of looking up. Opponent pump fakes with Ether Vial. Why we're tapped out, so it's not like we could have done anything crazy in response anyway. But, okay. There's Lord number 1, Miro Reedry. Come on, land. Land? Alright, Mana Confluence works. So let's... Chief of the Edge. Mana Confluence. The Wildest Nakatl. And let's go attacking. If our opponent wants to block with Reedry, that's awesome. If they vial in something and block, at least it's not the end of the world. Alright, they're going to bounce our Bramblewood Paragon. I guess it slows us down a little. Then they can just Spellskite block the Bloodsoak Champion. But they're down to 2 cards, and we still have a lot of action in hand. So they need their last two cards to be pretty good. Spreading Seas is annoying here, but not really deadly like it was, since we have a Mana Confluence. Opponent passes. What's the right play here? Let's just Bramblewood Paragon again. And I think we gotta stay the aggressor. Swing with everything. Opponent going to dismember our Chief of the Edge. Okay. Alright. That's annoying. We can't really mutagenic growth because of the spell skite. Silvergill reveals a Harbinger of Tides, untaps land. Draws a card. Oh, and another Lord, and it's an Island Walk Lord. Oh, God. Yeah, I don't think we're winning this one. Our opponent drew some disruption. We mulliganed. And we were on the draw. Spellskite isn't even that great against us, but it worked out well for our opponent here. And Disfigure doesn't help. Alright. That does it. We're dead next turn. Alright, at least we get to be on the play for game 3. Alright, we get to play first. Alright, not exciting, but we do have a Disfigure, which is good. Alright, Marsh Flats, crack Marsh Flats. Get an Overgrown Tomb, untapped. And Bloodsoaked Champion. Pass the turn. We haven't drawn a Collected Company yet either, which would be pretty helpful. Cavern for our opponent. On Merfolk. Passes. There's a Collected Company. Alright, let's get in for 2. Plains and Bramblewood. Pass the turn. Our opponent hasn't seen Collected Company either, so they might not even realize we have it. There's a Silvergill. Revealing a Lord of Atlantis. We draw not a land, a land. Alright, I think we just attack with both, actually. Attack with both. Put our opponent to 14. Marsh Flats, pass the turn. Ideally, we'll be able to disfigure a Lord. There's Master of the Pearl Trident. No attacks. Alright, let's disfigure. Crack Marsh Flats. Get a Blood Crypt. Tapped. Cavern on Warrior. Attack with both. Opponent's gonna block. Alright. Put our opponent down to 12. Pass the turn. Silvergill, revealing a Master of the Pearl Trident. And a land. And there's the Master. Okay. Well, let's Collected Company. Get Strike Leader and Erishan Foremost. pretty good hits. Double strike, not super relevant here. Oh my god, that is another collected company. Feeling good about where we're at. Is there any reason to just fire off our collected company now? I guess it can't hurt. Collected company number 2. Chief of the Edge and Wild Mikado. Do some attacking. We'll give Strike Leader double strike. Sweet! Collected company is pulling its weight. I think, does our opponent have to start blocking? They definitely do. And they're super behind on board. Opponent chumps. Drops to 3. We play Marsh Flats. Pass the turn. Alright, opponent. Where's your mono blue Wrath of God? It's working somehow. Janky collected companies, but hitting Erishin Foremost and Mardu Strike Leader was actually pretty good. Sweet. Well, one down.